Greetings and welcome to the Amateur Behaviorist. Today we're embarking on a journey into the intriguing world of the internet to explore an all-too-common phenomenon, internet trolling. This curious form of behavior, which can take the shape of inflammatory comments or initiating baseless arguments, thrives on reactions and attention. Picture this. A troll posts a provoking comment, and the internet community, like moths to a flame, are drawn in, responding, arguing, and inadvertently feeding the troll's need for attention. This cycle of trolling and responding, believe it or not, reinforces the troll's behavior, making it more likely for them to repeat it. Now, you might be thinking, why would anyone want negative attention? Well, let's dive into that. So, why would anyone crave negative attention? Let's explore this from a behavioral perspective. You see, in the grand theater of human behavior, attention plays a starring role. And surprisingly, it doesn't always matter if it's standing ovations or boos from the crowd. Attention, even when it's negative, can be a rewarding encore. Take our internet trolls, for instance. They could be seen as modern jesters, causing a ruckus for the sake of a reaction. When we react to their comments, even with disapproval or anger, we're giving them a form of attention. And in the grand scheme of things, this attention can be perceived as a reward. Now let's bring in a bit of behavioral science. You see, there's this principle of reinforcement, which states that a behavior is likely to increase if it's followed by a positive consequence. So, if a troll posts a provocative comment and receives a barrage of responses, they've just hit the jackpot. Our negative reactions in their eyes are positive reinforcements. We're essentially saying, bravo, encore, and they are more than happy to oblige. This principle of reinforcement is not just applicable to our internet jesters, but also to everyday life. It's why we repeat behaviors that have previously brought us praise or pleasure, and it's why we might continue to nag or complain if it gets us the results we want. But here's the twist. What's considered a positive consequence can be subjective. One person's trash is another's treasure, as the saying goes. So when we're dealing with trolls, we're dealing with individuals who treasure the reactions they incite, no matter how negative. They revel in the chaos, the uproar, the attention. It's their version of a standing ovation, their reward for a performance well executed. But what happens when we stop giving trolls the attention they crave? Things get a little more interesting. Ever heard of an extinction burst? It's a fascinating concept in the world of behavior. Picture this. You're trying to ignore a mischievous little imp, an internet troll if you will. And what happens? They seem to become even more annoying. They might post more outrageous comments, hurl more insults, or just generally ramp up their efforts to get under your skin. This, my friends, is called an extinction burst. Now you might be wondering, why on earth would ignoring a troll make them even more bothersome? Well, it's all part of a process. You see, when a troll realizes they're not getting the reaction they desire, the attention they crave, they might decide to try harder. They're throwing a bit of a tantrum, really. It's like a child screaming louder when they realize their initial wailing isn't getting them the candy they want. But here's the thing. This increase in trolling behavior is sometimes a temporary phase. It's a bit like the flare of a dying star. It gets brighter for a moment, but eventually it fades away. And this is precisely the moment where it's crucial to remain consistent in not giving attention. The extinction burst is a test of one's resolve. Pass it and you're one step closer to defeating the troll. The beauty of this process is that, over time, the lack of reinforcement, the absence of reactions, may lead to a decrease in trolling behavior. It might be hard to believe, especially when you're in the thick of an extinction burst, but stick with it. It's like climbing a mountain. The ascent can be tough, but the view from the top makes it all worth it. So the next time you encounter a troll, remember, no reaction might be the best reaction. So, what have we learned today about the intriguing world of internet trolling? First and foremost, trolling is a behavior that relishes reactions. The more we respond, the more we feed the trolling beast. It's a bit like feeding a stray cat. Once you start, it keeps coming back for more. Now let's not forget that even negative attention can serve as a reinforcement. It's a curious aspect of human behavior, really. Sometimes, any attention is good attention, even if it's a scolding or a well-articulated rebuttal. And finally, we talked about the fascinating phenomenon of the extinction burst. This is when ignoring trolls can lead to a temporary increase in their trolling behavior. It's like the final, desperate attempt of a fading firework. But stick with it, and over time, the trolling should decrease. And there you have it, a behavioral perspective on internet trolling. Until next time, this has been the Amateur Behaviorist, signing off.